Hello. I don't know why I always start it like that. I feel like I'm sitting down to do an interview. I'm having a snack. I'm very hungry. It's a Rice Krispie Square, not homemade. I have so many exciting things to show you and some things to talk about in regards to hellostella, which I'm like super anxious to share publicly, but also like I'm totally in my own head about it. So I'm going to talk to you guys about it first. So I'm going to finish my snack and then I'm going to show you all of the things. I'm very excited. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so I thought I would start off with my FO. So I shared this last time. This is the third time that I have knit this pattern. But it's the first one that I absolutely love. I love the other ones too, I just don't wear them. The first one I did was the t-shirt version, so short sleeve. And I did it with one, technically I held a single ply fingering weight with a Surrey alpaca. So technically one skein. So it's nice and bright, but I also did it at the time to show off yarn. I know it's knit with, it kind of looks like jadeite. I did pearl gray with jadeite. I've never worn it. And I think it's because it's definitely very cropped. And because the Surrey alpaca is so light, it doesn't really have a drape to it. The second one I knit with a really old base. It was my Fancy Stella, which is a fingering weight yarn with stellina. And I think I did that with mohair. So I held mohair with the sparkly, and I did that in lemon drop, and I do like it. I just feel I love the color, but I don't think it's a color that I can necessarily pull off very well, at least close to my face. So I have also never worn that. So I knit this one, and I wanted a neutral knit for my wardrobe. So this is knit with my Aran weight, my rustic, so it's non-superwash. The pattern I think is technically written to be used with yarn from a lace weight to a worsted weight yarn, so I went a little bit heavier, but because the needle size is a 10.5 millimeter, it was totally fine. So I have an example. So this is also knit with my Aran weight, and you can see it doesn't, like, it has drape to it, but it is definitely a bit more stiff. This just has, like, you can see it move. It's got really nice drape, and I knit this with 3 skeins. And I'm really happy with the sleeve length, 3/4 length bracelet. I don't know what this is referred to as. And I did the I-cord cast off on the sleeves and the bottom hem, which I really, really like. The amount of yarn that I had left from the 3 skeins that I used, I think I have it here in my bag. Maybe. I don't think I threw it out yet. Nope, maybe I did. Anyways, it was a serious game of yarn chicken. I had like that much yarn left, which made me feel really good, because I find like, and I'm sure everybody can relate to this, but the yardage that the pattern recommends versus the yardage that I actually use is always so different. And I'm always left with like leftover cakes, and so I'm really happy that I don't have anything left over. I didn't have to cake up another one, which is why I went with the I-cord bind off on the bottom. I did not, I think the I-cord she recommends is a 5-stitch I-cord. I just did 3. And I'm very, very happy with it. So this is my Easter sweater. We don't celebrate Easter, but I'll wear it this weekend. I might actually just live in it because I really like it. So I finished that last night, Thursday, and blocked it immediately, and it was dry this morning. So that was fantastic. And if you saw my Instagram, I also finished my first sock. This is a test knit for Bailey's, geez, I was thinking of Bailey, and her Instagram name is Peonies. But this is a test knit for my friend Bailey. My first time doing cables and lace like this. So I think this is the most proud I have ever been of a knit. It is such a beautiful pattern. So mine are not as long as hers. I got really impatient and I wanted to make sure that I could finish it in time because I felt like this was a bit ambitious for my skills, but I did it. And I think that goes to show that you should not underestimate your abilities. So I'm very excited to cast on and knit the second. I have not blocked this yet. I just had it on the sock blocker. But that is the pattern. It's beautiful. And I am getting a phone call, so just one moment. Okay, sorry. So yes, this is what the pattern looks like from the front. I also apologize for only having half of my nails painted. So it is such a beautiful pattern. I really love the toe detail and just my favorite heel. So I finished that and I will start the second one. I will finish a pair of socks. I have an entire finished pair of socks that I finished January? I can't even remember now. But it was supposed to be a secret test knit, but I have this like weird feeling that it's not coming out. I don't know. So I'm like, should I show you? Because I'm very excited. So I'm just gonna show you because they've been done for like 3 months now and I haven't been able to show anybody. So I knit these. There is a halo from the Surrey, but I thought that they were really, really pretty socks. Put one on because it kind of goes with my, oh, he's calling me again. So my husband, Nick, he knows that I'm taking a video and he keeps calling me. He keeps FaceTiming. So anyways, I knit these and I really like them. I would probably not use the Surrey next time because you can see it did create a bit of a halo on the rest of the yarn from where I caught my floats. But there's a really pretty lace detailing on the top and the bottom, and then the detailing on the hem is really pretty as well. So I thought I would show those because I don't honestly know if this pattern is coming out. And I want to show them off. I have one new work in progress that I impulsively started last night. And that is, I saw a post on Instagram that completely took my breath away. I loved the colors. I loved that it was just something so simple and so classic. So I started a classic granny square blanket. I'm using all leftovers and from stash, so I'm very excited about that. It's a very particular palette. So I'm keeping everything in my little Jenna Rose basket. But I got pretty far last night. I got all the centers done for one of the colors. I think there's 9 colors total so far. So I got 9 centers done on Anne, but I think this is just 2 rounds. I'm gonna go 3 rounds, but it's so pretty. Let me switch this. There. So I'm using a lot of leftover hellostella. There they are. They all fell to the ground. So I'm using some wisteria, which is a pale purple. It's a cool purple. I'm using plie. This is Gold Rush. Juniper. And then I'm adding in these 3 colors from Knitting for Olive, which I had gotten originally to do a Rodari. So I think this one is Merlot. This is a dusty pink, and this one is dark ochre. And then I'm gonna see about adding in this mossy green from Retrosaria, their Vovo. It's color 04. So that is the palette. And then I ordered a lot of this color, but this was one of those instances where the color was not, the way it appeared on the website in the picture was completely different from how it actually came. It's much more muted in real life. The picture was like this rich, warm brown. It's called cognac. This isn't cognac to me. But I'm gonna use it as the border color for the blanket to join all of the squares. And I'll show you the picture that really got me obsessed with wanting to do a granny square blanket. This one right here. Oh, it's so pretty, and I just love the colors so much. So I think that this, I mean, it's still pretty girly, but these colors are very me right now. This is totally my palette. All of these colors make me so happy, so I'm going to probably work on that this weekend, because it's easy to do when the kids are around, and the kids have been unruly. So that is my new cast on, if you want to even call it that. And now I want to talk about some businessy things that I'm very excited about. So you know that I have been trying to find local mills, Canadian mills, and Canadian farmers that I can have custom yarn spun that is 100% Canadian, and I can share the details on where it is sourced, where it is spun. I can sell it bare so that the natural fiber can shine, but I can also dye some of it for like limited releases and stuff. So I have been talking with a farmer, and he has a flock of Ranunculus. But the thing with Ranunculus is it needs to be spun in a particular way. It's not spun, it's not carded and spun like I would say 90% of yarn is. Ranunculus is very soft like merino, but it needs to be mule spun, which is a really particular machine. There are not that many of them. So he usually would be able to wholesale his actual yarn spun from his fleece, but because of the pandemic, he hasn't been able to go to any of the major fleece and fiber shows down in the US. Like he goes to Rhinebeck, And when he goes, that's where, when he drops off, like he brings a full trailer of like 500 pounds of fiber and would have it spun, and then he goes and he picks it up. But the border has been closed. So he is sitting on, I think he said he's got like 300 pounds currently that's ready to be spun. It's not cleaned yet, so it hasn't been degreased, but he got coats for his sheep this past winter, so all of his sheep had coats, and I think that's so cute. So he's getting ready to shear them probably anytime now. But he said that I'm more than welcome to go out and visit the farm. So I might actually try and see if I can stop in this weekend. I don't know, because we've gone into lockdown, so I don't know if he's going to say anything about that, but it would be outside, and I would fully wear a hazmat suit if I had to see sheep. But I have found a mill that does mule spun yarn. They're out in Alberta. So I ordered a sample because when I contacted them about it, they said, yeah, we do processed Ranunculus wool, because it said like right on their website that they do. But they kind of, I'm sure they didn't mean to, but they their emails back and forth with me kind of made me feel like they think I'm an idiot and I don't know what I'm doing. Because they were like, oh, it's like really, really rustic yarn. I don't know if like people would actually want to knit with it. And I'm like, well, you sell it to be knit with. So clearly there's, and anyways. So I ordered 2 samples to see what it would be like. These are both natural. So one is like your classic bare yarn, and it is very soft. I'm very pleasantly surprised. When I got it, I was thinking that based on their emails, this was going to be like, nobody would want to wear this. But even Nick said it was soft, so I don't know. And then this is the other sample. So I've got a mill, and now I just need to take a look at the fiber and see if it's going to be good, because they do minimal cleaning at this mill. So essentially the state that the fiber is in when it gets to them, it will go through the bare minimum cleaning process, which means that there will be vegetative matter probably in it. But I mean, I've knit with yarn that still has like little pieces of hay and twig in it, and it doesn't bug me. I think it just adds to the character. So that is one of the exciting updates that I have. And another update that I have is the very first mill that I contacted. They have on their website that they do wholesale. And so that's wholesale for having fleece spun into yarn, but they also wholesale from their flock of sheep, and if they've acquired fiber from other farmers in their area. So I inquired to see if they had any availability, because a lot of these mills, I've contacted so many, but they, everybody came back saying, please contact us in the next 6 to 12 months because we're full. They are not. So they sent me some samples, and they are really, really nice. The only issue is that every single one of them is such a loose ply that I need to contact them to see if this is just for sample purposes or if it will have a thicker ply to it. And I'm also a little bit confused because I contacted them specifically about Ranunculus, and they sent me, they said they couldn't, but they sent me a Ranunculus sample. So you can see in this that there's like vegetative matter, and that just means that there's like hay and twigs and all that stuff from outside. So some of the samples I got, so 50% mohair and 50% Corriedale. This is fingering. So these are like all so nice. So I just have to figure out the ply situation, because the one that I am most excited about is the 100% Corriedale. There's 50% alpaca and 50% Corriedale. There's 80% 80-20 alpaca Corriedale, and then 70-30 Corriedale. But this is the one. I think it would be really nice to have a 100% breed specific yarn. So I got this last week, so I just need to email them back to ask about that ply situation, because I need it. I don't want it to be too loose. That's, to me, is too loose to knit with, so I don't think, if it doesn't appeal to me, I don't think it would appeal to a lot of people who would be looking to purchase it. So that is the update on those two things. And I'm so excited to say, sorry. So I pulled the trigger and I will be bringing in a 100% custom hellostella base from my current mill. So the mill that I work with like most frequently, they are in the UK, so everything is sourced from overseas. But I'm going to be bringing in a 100% non-superwash tweed fingering weight yarn. And it will be exclusive to hellostella, which I am beyond excited. I'm so glad that I asked that question and they said that they would 100% keep it exclusive to me. So I'm very, very excited about that. It takes about 5 months for them to spin the yarn. And I think it was like 150 kilos, which is roughly 300 pounds. So I'm gonna have a lot coming. It's due to, I think like the rough estimate is kind of like July, August. So later this summer, heading into fall, I'm gonna be relaunching the van collection. And I'm very excited about that. And then I'll have more tweed that I can do some like regular hellostella colors on, but I'm so excited. So that is like huge for me, but it is like a very large investment up front. So I am trying to stay super strict and not buy any selfish yarn and just pull from stash as much as possible. Cause yeah, it's, I mean, 300 pounds worth of yarn is a lot of yarn. Plus I have to get it from the UK to Canada. So, I have with me the Watercolor Collective skeins. I shared a picture of them, but I thought I would show how they turned out on camera. And I absolutely love, 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 love how they came out. I think they're so pretty. So I'm gonna try and cake one up maybe this weekend if I have time, and do a swatch. I think I might actually use this to do my sock design that I mentioned last time. I think if I held it with Gold Rush, that's a really pretty combo. So that is my plan. Those are the skeins. And that will hopefully, I've ordered the prints, I just need to get the stickers ordered. But the stickers were so fast last time. So I'm gonna unveil the color next week, and then it will be treated as a pre-order. Very limited pre-order for the skeins because I don't want to get too crazy with it. I am just one person, but that is that. And I want to share the theme for the Advent. I put so much thought into this. So I've become very into gardening. I've always liked plants. I've just never, I don't think I like, it's like one of those things where I just didn't apply myself to taking care of them. But I mean, my plants are doing great, and my seeds are just over here, and they're doing amazing. Like I have, my first tomatoes have just sprouted. I've got peppers sprouting, pumpkins. I've got lilac sage, is like going crazy. And I'm just waiting for my asters. And then I still am waiting for my other seeds to arrive so that I can start working on my wildflowers. But it kind of made me stop and think, like, I originally had an idea for Advents, and that was going to be like a Scandinavian theme. And I still really like that idea, but then I started thinking, like, I feel like I'm really starting to find my colors, my palette. I'm knitting things that I really love and that I'm actually wearing. I'm not so much, I had kind of placed myself into a box based on what I thought people wanted from me. And I was too focused on making everybody else around me happy. Like, I loved the stuff that I was putting out last year, but I started to realize that I was doing it because I thought that that's what people wanted, instead of doing what I want. Or what I like. And it's so easy to fall into that mindset when you run a business, because obviously you're running a business, so you need to make sure that you've got money coming in and you're not, you know, like overspending on things that you think are gonna sell and they don't sell, and like it's just like this vicious cycle, and it just keeps going and going and going. But I took a class on self-sabotage, and that was on Skillshare. It was 45 minutes, but it was like the most eye-opening 45 minutes I think I've ever seen. And we may not think that we're self-sabotaging, but we are, and we do it to ourselves. So I'm really leaning hard into doing what I want for my business, dyeing what I want, because I think that if I am authentic and 100%, this is what I like and this is what makes me happy, then my customers will see that and they'll be attracted to that, and they'll, I don't know, maybe they'll even be excited to try it, or, you know, it'll attract new customers and new opportunities and all that stuff. So anyways, the theme for the Advent is going to be Secret Garden. It is one of my favorite movies. I have the book, and this book, I actually found this copy for $3 many years ago when I first met Nick, and I've held on to it, and I might actually start reading it this weekend. It would probably take me a day, maybe 2 days, but it's one of my favorite movies. They actually remade the movie with Colin Firth. I watched it the other night, but I feel like this is the most excited I have been about an idea. So the Advent is going to include 24 20-gram mini skeins of yarn. It is going to be non-superwash only. I have made the decision to phase out superwash altogether. I just finished a wholesale order, and it was pure torture for me to get through. And it's not that I'm not happy with the final outcome of the yarn, because I know what I'm putting out there, my quality is there. I think it's just the feel of the yarn, the environmental impact it has. Like, I feel guilty dyeing it, and it, for lack of a better word, it feels gross in my hands. Like, I don't like how it feels. So I've already started reaching out to my retailers to say, are you open to switching to my non-superwash bases? Over the course of the next few months, I'm going to be phasing out superwash. I just don't want to have it in my shop anymore. I don't want to have to dye it and work with it and feel gross and guilty about the effects that it has on the environment. So the Advents are going to be non-superwash, and that is it. Included in that, I'm having custom charms made by the company that did this mushroom for me. I'm very excited about that. So it's going to be a mix of styles. They're all different kinds of mushrooms, but they're so whimsical and beautiful. And so each advent will have a charm. They're going to be done as progress keepers so that they're universal, whether you knit or crochet, you can use it. You could also, with a progress keeper, like literally put it on a chain, so you can also wear it. So I'm very excited about that. Their stuff is beautiful. They sculpt these by hand and then paint them by hand. So they're so unique and one of a kind, and they're Canadian. I'm going to be having Katie from Monarch Tea Co. do a custom blend tea, and I think we're going to call it Wildflower. I'm going to be doing a print to go along with the advent, and then the yarn itself, to try and keep it at like a fair price for everybody. But I'm very, very excited for this, and I've already figured out, like, I'm gonna package the yarn to look like flower seeds, with beautiful washi tape, and I don't know. I've got like all these ideas going in my head. So that is the theme for the advent, and I would love to know what you think. I'm very anxious to get this idea out into the world, partially because it makes me so happy. But then the other part of me is, you know, I'm worried that somebody else is going to have this idea and then it's going to look like I'm copying them, because that has kind of been the theme this year for me. If you saw my post about artistic integrity, there's been quite a few things that I had in the pipeline that I've had to just completely pull out of, because somebody who has more resources than I do got to it first, after talking about it. So I would really, really love to know what you think, because this is like the most excited I think I have been for this big of a project in a long time. So that is, I think that's like everything I needed to update you guys on and share. So you can let me know what you think, and I'm going to include some detail shots of some of the stuff that I've talked about so you can see it a little bit better, and I might even show you my seedlings because they're super cute. But it's a long weekend. I'm going to get back to my kids and put my feet up maybe and take a break. I don't know, probably not. I think Nick last night was like, you just never stop moving and doing something with your hands, and he's right, I don't really ever stop. So I wish you guys the best weekend. I'm gonna try and get this video up ASAP, and hopefully I'll be back again soon with another video. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on everything. I love hearing what you guys think. So thank you so much for being here, and chat soon.